Staff Sergeant Collins.
Yes, it is.
Hey, Staff Sergeant Collins. My name is Marcel Ernie. I was the individual that was assaulted on the KVR boardwalk in front of Tent City.
Okay.
And I wanted to follow up with somebody such as yourself, the watch commander, about having this investigation move forward in a decent capacity to find the perpetrators, because I can point them out and do a lineup or whatever is necessary. And Constable Curtis Juch says he's going on vacation after tonight for like a week, and it doesn't sound like anybody's really too interested in what's going on. And this is like absolutely super serious, being assaulted by 4 individuals fighting for my life on Tent City as I'm just going down the KVR. So can you help me with this scenario, please?
Let me see. Do you have a file number or something?
Yeah, yes.
Your name was...
It's Marcel Ernie. The file number is 2024, and then it's 50404.
How do you spell your name, Marcel?
The last name is spelled with an I. I-R-N-I-E. N-I-E. First name Marcel, M-A-R-C-E-L.
Okay.
And, yeah, this happened, I don't even have the time, but around 5:30, and yeah, I could tell you all the details of the story. Nobody's taken like a written statement. I suggested coming down to the police station, and they never I had my friend who was a witness of the whole thing. You have him on the file, Percy. He was never even asked to like identify the guy in the back of the cop car to verify that he was one of the ones that was punching and kicking me out of the 4 individuals involved in this assault. And there's 1 woman and 2 males, 2 large males, one of them much taller than me. It's 6'3" or something. And I can easily ID them, and I'm sure they're known in some capacity to somebody who patrols out there all the time. And, I want to make sure that these people are charged with assault. There needs to be accountability for what happened to me, right? I mean, like, literally, it sounds like everyone, even the police, won't go down this area unless you're in a group of people, like a group of police. Like, we waited around for 40 minutes before there was 4, 5, 6, 7 RCMP, if not more, and then took 40 minutes. They all chatted before walking down, and like I could identify the people, but they already left. It's just super frustrating, Staff Sergeant Collins.
Well, I see we do have a file. I see that it has this progress, this documentation on here, and steps to be taken yet.
Okay.
So did I hear that we didn't get a statement from you yet? Is that correct?
Well, like I verbally told everybody at the scene, all the police, and the first officer was female Constable Campbell. She was the first one to like talk to me when Constable Curtis Juch was. I pointed at the one guy that was still right there. Like that's one of the guys that punched me and kicked me. And he grabbed him and put him in the car. And so then I was talking to the female Constable Campbell, and I explained it to her. And then we were waiting around, and I'm like, let's go find these. My Bluetooth was still connected to my phone. They stole my phone off of me as they beat me on the ground, and then stole my phone off of me. And my Bluetooth was like connecting and disconnecting. I'm like, we can actually find this person right now, but nobody would move for 40 minutes. And then we finally went down, and like, right after the incident, I saw all individuals. They were all there for quite a amount of time, and then they left, right? So I wanted to organize to meet back there to identify some of these people who were going to be there in the day tomorrow or the next day, very likely, right? But I can't just go there by myself. That would be very dangerous now that if they recognize my face, I literally these people... I mean, I've been up and down that KVR before. It's never been like this before. I never got like nearly thought I was going to get killed or like stabbed or something, right? When they're beating me.
Yeah. So the first thing that jumps out at me is, yeah, we want a statement from you, so we should do that.
Like, I suggested it to Constable Juch that I'll come to the station, and you have video footage apparently on one of the cameras, which would film, you know, it's in the middle behind the post office of the area that should capture me one-wheeling and getting attacked. So I asked him, I'm like, well, call me in and I can do a lineup, or if you want me to identify the people, or what, just to actually have this investigation just not go. I want it to progress to people being arrested, right? It sounds like you do, but when I was at the scene, I didn't really have any empathy from anybody. It was really weird. It just felt like nobody really cares because it's dealing with people at Tent City. And what do you do with these people that are assaulting people? Like, I mean, I know you guys are super understaffed, and it just felt like nothing was going to happen. And like, I met Constable Curtis, Juch, and Campbell because my phone was, I got home and I turned on another phone that works through Wi-Fi, like my old phone. And I was able to like GPS my phone. It was in Tent City in the middle of the Bailey Road, the road area, right? We're in the Tent City, like at the back of the fence there. I'm like, I'll meet you guys here in 22 minutes. So they did meet me there, those two constables. And I'm like, I need Wi-Fi. I need somebody can hotspot my phone so then we can go and track it to the foot or the meter or whatever, right? And they refused to give me a hotspot. So I couldn't actually track it beyond, like, it's in the middle area, right? Which was very frustrating. And maybe they're suggesting that, oh, it's, you know, we can't give you a hotspot because of security, but like whatever security breach that they're thinking that I might do as a person who's assaulted should not be trumped by the fact that we could find this person right now with my phone. So we just walked through, and I mean, we can't look in the tents, you know, apparently you're not allowed to do that unless you're invited in, right?
Yeah, they treat them like it's a home, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. You would need a warrant in some capacity unless they volunteer you. So I have a friend there named Curtis. So the reason that this woman went crazy at me is because she saw that I was filming. I was going from the east to the west with my friend Percy, who was on a one wheel as well. And I was filming the Tent City. I haven't filmed Tent City since last summer. And now, you know, it's like 25% bigger, right? Now than last summer. It's expanded, you know, double time. And on the other side, it's not going back and forth. And so she saw me filming, and that's what instigated this woman to chase me down and smash into me with her bicycle, trying to get me to crash off my one wheel. Like, you know, the one wheel is like a little skateboard. And so this woman, I can identify her. I can see the constables. They never asked for any identifying features. And like the woman, you know, her age was 30 to 45. She had bleached white hair, like 1 centimeter in length, you know, really butch, short hair, like a butch, you know, whether it's a lesbian or not, but that symbol of a person wearing baggy kind of men's style clothing on a bicycle. And, you know, maybe 150, 170 pounds. It was hard to tell in the thing, with medium build. And she was the instigator that smashed into me with her bicycle first. And then I was able to like balance and get out of it and not completely stop. And then another individual on a bicycle, on a black bike, bigger build, like 200 pounds. And I would recognize him, but I just can't describe. Dark hair, maybe. I don't really have the best description of his face, you know, just in the time. He smashed me with his mountain bike, which then took me right off the board. And then there's a guy who's shirtless, who wasn't on a bicycle, really big guy. I mean, if you've dealt with these people before, whoever does the patrol, they would recognize this guy. He's like the biggest guy there, right? Biggest guy there, long reach, like a boxer's long reach, but, you know, he's fit and white and sort of bald, I feel like. And so I'm just giving you a description. And like, you know, I'm 6'1", so he must have been like 6'3", because his punches were, and then he was trying to punch me, and I was trying to dodge the punches. And he threw one, and I threw two. I'm not very good at dodging punches. I don't have much experience with it, so I feel like he just was bad at getting his punches to land because he's probably high on fentanyl and whatever meth. But then I tried to do a counter punch to get away from him. And then I was able, which I missed. I think it was short because he's got way more reach than me. And I grabbed my one wheel and I tried to run away with my one wheel, right? This one wheel thing weighs like 50 pounds. And he chased me around the dirt off the KVR. And I ran, and then I was running down the KVR and he was running after me. And I literally was like, I can't run fast enough carrying this 50-pound board. I need to get on the board because then it can go 30K, right? Like a bicycle. And I tried to get on the board, and my timing wasn't enough, and he body checked me off the board. Like, he was able to rush me as I'm trying to get on the board. And then I think I fell down, and I was able to get up again and grab the board, and I ran with the board in my chest. And the girl and him were yelling to the people as I'm approaching the center of Tent City, like more to the north, south, east, the west side. And they were yelling, get him, get him. And I don't know what our yelling on top of that was, but my friend Percy said maybe they're saying he stole, he's a thief or filming, they're coming after me for filming or being a thief. And then this other guy with a vest, who was the one who was arrested, he was wearing like kind of a reflective thing. He got right in front of me, and I ran right and tried to go around him and freaking body checked me, and boom, I went down. And then him and the two other shirtless guys that I'd explained earlier were going at me with punches, and I was trying to like defend myself. I'm on my back at this point, yelling at them to stop, just leave me, stop. And then I got kicked in the head. I'm wearing my helmet, my bicycle helmet. I got kicked in the head. And so they finally landed a headshot essentially. And I got knocked down, and then I got hit in the back. And so all three of them were attacking me at the same time. And I was rolling on the ground, just kind of like, this might be it. If somebody stabs me, I don't know. I was in fight or flight. Like, this is life or death. I'm sorry. Are you still there?
I've been listening.
Yeah. I just wasn't sure. The phone color's off or the screen's off. So then essentially my phone was then taken, and they all backed off to a certain degree. When I got up and I didn't have the one wheel, of course, somebody grabbed the one wheel and took my one wheel, and then they all just stood around, and I realized my phone was gone. And I'm like, who has my phone? And just give me my phone back. I'll forget about this. Of course, the phone has all of the video evidence as well, right? Of me, like literally, I was filming when they started chasing me, right? And then they all left, and then my friend Percy, he watched the whole thing, and unfortunately, he didn't intervene to help me. He was afraid as well. He had his little dog with him in his arms, and he said even if he filmed, he thought they'd come attack him too, because he would be filming me getting beat, right? So he didn't film it or anything. And the commissioner is just watching at a distance as well, like a distance of 25 meters. The commissioner watched me. He watched them chase me. And he did nothing, of course. I mean, you don't really expect them to do much, but they don't. Besides call KSOC, right? And report. The police come, but yeah, nobody stepped in to help. And anyways, I found my one wheel. One guy actually was like, they tried to hide it, and he here it is. He pointed to it or whatever, and I found it hidden under like a blanket or something, right? Just near the scene of the assault. And then in the end, I kind of wish maybe I just ran and left the one wheel. I don't know how it would have turned out. But I was running into the people they were calling to attack me, right? And so the guy that you have arrested, do you still have him in the station, or do you let him go?
I'm not familiar with that status right now. I'm not sure. So I haven't been, I'm not sure.
Okay, so I don't even know if he knows why he was punching me, because the other people were saying get him, and that's what he did. He got in my path and attacked me, right? Maybe he thought I was stealing my one wheel as I'm running with it. You know what I mean? I don't know if he actually knows what's going on at that time. Later on, they're all talking, right? Maybe he has an idea, but And the woman, she assaulted me with her bicycle. She was the instigator. Like, super easy to point her out. And when we kind of are able to investigate these people with you, and I could point her out, and she has hit me with her bicycle, but I don't know if she assaulted me beyond that when the guys were on me. I don't think so. By the time I'm on the ground, I know the two shirtless guys and the one you arrested me were punching and beating me when I was on the ground. And eventually they landed, and then I couldn't see after that very well, right, as I'm rolling for my life. Yeah. So essentially she assaulted me with her bicycle, and then the other guys were at me. And the guy you have arrested is really the least of the worries of the assault. Like, like I said, he did assault me, punched me, possibly kicked me. Obviously, I know he was throwing the punches, but kicks were coming. I don't know whose foot hit me in the head, and right, can't physically see that. But I can definitely identify these guys, and they shouldn't be in there anymore. Like, people need to be warned about how dangerous. Like, if you pull your camera out and film the tent city, like, this could happen to anybody. And clearly this is not okay. So, when also the video footage I don't know how the quality of the video footage, have you ever seen video footage from the camera that is above the tent city in the middle?
I have not, actually, no.
I wonder if it's 4K. So the Kelowna operation, the Kelowna KSOC would have that footage, because that's they're hired to monitor, right?
I believe you're right, but I haven't seen it before. My understanding is that they did review footage, but I haven't seen it myself.
Okay. Can you please personally review the footage, because you're the only person I'm going to be able to contact, considering Constable Curtis is done at 4 p.m. for a week, and he wouldn't even tell me. He's not even sure when he's coming back to the job. He said he might be sick for who knows how long.
Well, we work 4 on, 4 off, so Constable Juch will be back on duty on the 3rd.
Okay, let me write this down. Yeah, Duke. Sorry, his name is really Juch on what is it? Fucking August, September 3rd. Yeah, because he said maybe he'll be back Tuesday or Wednesday, but he's not sure, because he might take more days off. That's what he said to me. And he pretty much said, it's like, I need to get back to work. I got other things to do, and I'm not confident in his investigational skills. Let's put it that. So that's why I really want somebody like you, a staff sergeant, somebody who's put in a career there, and knows how to deal with this stuff.
Yeah, that would be. I appreciate the compliment. I don't think that I unfortunately do not do the investigations. I oversee, and I partake in other activities in the detachment, but I don't have time to get engaged directly into the investigations that come day to day. I'm happy to remind and encourage and coach and guide the members. And one of the first things that jumped out at me is that I don't think I've heard that you actually gave a statement yet. So
not like a written statement.
In my mind,
right?
Yeah, like a proper statement is usually the first course of action. If I was going to do an investigation, I want to speak to the people and say, tell me what happened. And I like to record them. Yeah. But if somebody's more comfortable jotting their ideas down on paper or typing it,
it's really hard to. I agree. I would rather do this in person and have somebody else writing the notes, because I don't like writing. I can just talk it.
On an audio recorder.
Yeah.
And I would say, tell me what happened. So if that hasn't happened and other arrangements weren't made, then I think that is something that's important.
Well,
if your friend Percy is a witness, then I would be getting a statement from him.
Absolutely.
Well. I'd be identifying witnesses and say, let's get it down, let's get it on the record. So if those things haven't happened yet, I'm going to go back to Constable Juch, and I will be reminding him that those are basic steps that have to be pursued.
I know. I've actually was assaulted in high school once, and I went through this whole process. And the police went to everybody's house and took statements, and I'm like, what is going on here? I understand you're short-staffed. I've read all the news articles about how you guys have nobody, but this is not. This can't be appropriate if nobody's doing it officially here, and that's why I'm so distraught. I mean, when I called you, I was on phone. I mean, nobody even picks up the phone when you call the 762 number anymore. I waited around for 25 minutes on hold.
Because it could be just because it's so late and we don't have a lot of municipal.
Oh, okay, got cut off. Great.